Hi, I'm Philip Carr-Gomm, and this is This Magical Life, your guide to the intersection of psychology, spirituality, and wisdom. Hello, this is Philip Carr-Gomm, and it's lovely to be with you. So, we're moving towards Beltane in the Northern Hemisphere, and there's the most wonderful Beltane-like feeling now. I don't know how the weather is like for you or how nature is responding to you, but we've had lovely sunny weather. All the blossom is out in the garden, and then the May blossom is out. It's a beautiful feeling, aided by what's happening in nature, aided by this extraordinary quiet that has descended so that we can hear the bird song, and so that the sky can be clearer, so the water can be clearer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Earth, at the same time, we have this Samhain experience that the Southern Hemisphere is going through. And of course, in a way, the whole world is going through a Samhain experience. For those of you who are not familiar, Samhain is the festival where we are the dead, we become aware of transience and sort of remember the fact that we don't last forever in our physical bodies and honor those people who've left their bodies. So where the whole world is going through this Samhain moment, where that kind of illusion that we can operate on for quite a long time, that we're kind of immortal and that nothing can touch us. And then illness strikes and it suddenly becomes very real. So that's what's happened to us all on the planet. And I thought I would turn to the animal world. There's a way in which the crisis we are faced with today is the result of our relationship with the animal world, our disturbed and abusive relationship to the animal world. There's a quote from a UN chap, which I'll put on my blog, really spelling this out, that it's the wet markets, it's our invasion of animals, habitats and so on, that has brought this. We brought it upon ourselves. We don't even have to say it's the animals biting back, it's ourselves. We have caused this ourselves. So turning to animals seemed a very appropriate thing to do. So I turned and I thought I'd ask a slightly different question, which is, how might we respond to what is happening in this crisis? And I turned to the Animal Oracle and I picked the card, and this is the card that I got, the Blackbird. And you see there's the opening to the cave, and the Blackbird sings at twilight, inviting us on a journey. And I turned to the book that Stephanie and I put together over 25 years ago now. And here we have it, The Blackbird's Song, a poem to the sun's first slender ray. So I got the feeling that I was on track with this Mayday reference. And then I read what we'd written all those years ago. And we said this, Dubh, which means Dubh is black, the black druid, which is a name in Scotland for the blackbird, colloquial name. Dubh calls to us from the gateway between two worlds to follow a spiritual path or to become more self-aware. He calls to us in the twilight, showing us the path to otherworldly secrets, pointing out the ways in which we can discover more about our hidden motivations and potential. There are times in life when it is important to concentrate on the outer world and your responsibilities in that world. But there are also times when you must attend to the haunting song of your soul, which calls you to a study of spiritual truths and to an exploration of the inner world through dreams and myths. In heeding Druid Duff's song, you will discover healing and new depths in your soul. And so I thought, how does this help me in asking for how we should respond to this crisis? Look, there are all sorts of ways that are appropriate to respond. And this is just one. But I think that in a way, what's happening is there's a kind of mass initiation, if you like, or rather the potential for mass initiation on the planet. One of the things that leads us to the threshold of the mysteries is an intense awareness of our transience, which is why in ancient times an initiation until you're touching the edge of a sword. In various traditions, you're brought, as it were, in an initiation, you are presented with the reality of your transience and the reality that we can die at any moment. And you are forced to take that step into a deeper understanding, to actually engage with spiritual realities, with the big questions like who am I, what lies at the center of my being. And I believe that particularly after the Second World War, through the decades of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and so on, there's been a tremendous acceleration. Just look at meditation and mindfulness, the way that's totally reaching millions of people all over the world, whereas in 1939, you would have been dismissed as a lunatic from many conventional situations if you talked about that. So what's happening is more and more people are being awakened to spiritual realities and truths. I believe that's what's happening. The blackbird is a bird who calls us to these deeper truths. And we get that, the symbolism in that comes from the blackbird singing at twilight. That lovely twilight song leads us into the other world again. And so what I'm going to invite us to do now is to follow the blackbird's song. We're going to have a meditation together. I'm going to play you a blackbird singing, that we'd really got to this idea of the blackbird suggesting that perhaps what's happening is the potential for large amounts of people being initiated into a deeper understanding. You either carry on looking outside in order to support it, or you turn in and go within. And if you do go within, then you are offered, all the riches of the spiritual traditions are available to you, and all the techniques are available to you. And so let's go into the sacred grove now. All you need to do is close your eyes, and you're in this magical world of coming into the sacred grove. And just perhaps sense yourself moving forward through the trees until you come into a clearing in the forest. This magical spot beloved of the Druids, who go to their sacred groves to find rest and peace and connection precisely with the world the Druid Dubh, the Blackbird, calls us to. And you sense the earth beneath you. Feel the energy of the earth bringing you a sense of stability. And you sense this stability, this connection with the earth. And then you sense the trees around you, the sense of protection and power of the trees around you. And then you breathe in the energy of the sky. And the air is clear, and you breathe in this clear air into your being. And this brings vitality into your being. The energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And then you gradually allow your inner eyes to close as you become aware of a blackbird sitting on a tree singing to you. And you just allow yourself to follow the song of the blackbird, just being with it and reveling in it. And you sense how the blackbird is not alone, but there are other birds in the grove too. and beyond. And it's as if that song carries through the forest, connecting up the whole earth, across the whole planet. And as you sense the songs of the birds all over the planet, you ask that this bird song may grow and grow, that the natural world might be able to return more and more strongly, more and more with vigor and vitality, with strength, with beauty, bringing beauty and love and joy to all the world. And you lean forward and you place the palms of your hands on the earth, and you feel your love of the earth. And you ask, and we all ask, for a blessing on our lives and a blessing on the land. And as you do this, you realize you're not alone. You sense the grove filled with people from all corners of the earth, all reverently touching the earth, asking that the earth might be blessed, that all life might be blessed. And sensing yourself as part of this community of souls, you bow in acknowledgement to them, your head, and then close your eyes and become aware of yourself. Become aware of the sacred grove beginning to fade in your awareness as you become more and more aware of being fully present here and now, facing your computer screen. For me, the message of the Blackbird, the opportunity to go deep and to really appreciate the thousands of years, actually, of spiritual teachings and of poetry, of inspiring texts, of techniques of meditation and inquiry, and that have been gifted to us over the ages through the perennial wisdom tradition and through the many different streams of spiritual teaching that we are so lucky to be able to turn to. Thank you to the Blackbird, and thank you to you all, and many, many blessings, and have a lovely week. Okay, bye. Be sure to subscribe, share, and join me next time for more inspiration.